Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to another live stream Ask Me Anything session. The title is How May I Serve You Today? If you are new to my live streams, just want to let you know that there is no agenda here. There is no slides, presentation. This is not a webinar. This is not me doing some sort of sales funnel, anything like that. I simply asked myself the question, what would I love to do if money were no object? And that answer is clear as anything that's ever been clear in my life. And that is, I would love to show up and be available to have meaningful conversations where I am of support and encouragement to others. This is why I left my career as an insurance agent so many years ago. And I find that it's been the undercurrent of my life since as far back as I can recall, having some sort of connection to what it is that I feel like I'm here to do on this planet. So it's why I'm here. I do not have anything prepared ahead of time. I do not have any agenda. I have no idea who will join me during this live stream or if anyone at all will join me during this live stream. I do know that I'm here for 90 minutes minimum. That's what I've committed myself to. This is the opportunity that I give for anyone to come across my path. And so with that, I've got this 90-minute block of time that I'm setting up my camp right here. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, as far as I know. I believe I'm streaming on all three platforms. I do see that as I've gone live here with the live stream, a couple of people have popped into view and then a couple of people have popped out. Really doesn't matter to me. I'm right now speaking obviously to you, someone watching the replay, because currently there's nobody watching live. I did send out an email yesterday letting people know that I was hosting 5 of these live sessions this week. And if you would like to know the schedule, all you have to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. The schedule is usually there. This is all relatively new. I'm kind of making this up as I go, this kind of how I'm operating in this season of my life. And it's kind of fun. So yeah, I will sit here and wait to see if anybody is a first conversation in this particular live session. So I will just sit here and see what happens. You know, I've been doing these kinds of things off and on throughout all the years, and there have been times when I'm like, is anybody going to join me? And I would freak out for a little bit, thinking, gosh, look at Cliff. What people are going to think about Cliff sitting there hosting a live stream? Shouldn't he automatically be like some other people and have a whole stream of people who are instantly eager to talk to him? And what does it look like when he sits there and goes live and emails thousands of people on his mailing list and it's crickets? That was back in the day when I cared what people thought. And it's one of the things that I love to help people figure out in their own journey. How do you actually take bold action and do the things you feel most called to do in this world, even though there's no certainty that it will work out the way you desire? There's no assurance that people will show up, that people will respond, that people will resonate. But still follow that inner knowing that this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. This is the space. Well, that's what I'm doing. And you can do these kind of things as well. You too can sit on a live stream all by yourself. But here's what I will say. This is not the first time that I have sat by myself in new ventures, striking it out, take down a new path of the unknown, only to have people say years later, well, Cliff, that was easy for you because you had this, 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 this. And if people only knew what it's like when you shut things down and start something new, it's often like this: quiet. I wouldn't say lonely, but it could be perceived as a lonely venture. Doesn't have to be. So there you go. If anybody, I do see that there are some folks who are now starting to pick up on the live stream. If you would like to join me, I'm on Zoom. There's a Zoom call. So if you go to cliffravenscraft.com/join, just type that into your browser on your phone or on desktop, either one, cliffravenscraft.com/join. There's a button there and you'll be able to join me live on Zoom. And if you'd like to do that, you can join me here and ask me anything. We'll start our conversation off with the question, how can I serve you today? The other thing that I'm working on is, what are the times when I launch these? Should I be doing, not should I, is there a benefit to choosing the same hour of each day and having a schedule? I've been kind of impromptuing certain things. And if I look at when am I going to be here this week? So today is Monday, July 21st. I have committed to being here from 10 to 11:30. Now, if we get to 11:30 and there are more people who want to chat, I'll stay longer. Tomorrow, I'm going to be here from 3:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday, I'm going to be here from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday, the 24th of July, I will be here from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., same as today. And then Friday, back to 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. I wish I could tell you that I've been keeping track of, which of these sessions is getting the most attention. I have not. What happens is when I get into a conversation with someone, I become fully present with that person, and I am fully engaged in whatever it would take to be of the highest level of service to that one individual. And that's kind of how I roll. I like it like that. I do have a coaching call with a current client at 3:30 p.m. this afternoon, so I do need to wrap up, let's say, by 3:15 for sure. But I could. I mean, if more people showed up, I could be here. Hey, Spencer, good to see you, my friend. Loved your recent post about just following your authenticity. It was awesome. Good to see you. I heard that you're doing some follow your energy, or how to manipulate your own energy and to control your energy. I really enjoy your posts, Spencer. That's what I want to say. Spencer, by the way, I can show Spencer's comment. Good morning, Cliff, he says. Good morning. It's so good to see you out there. By the way, if anybody knows anyone who could use a little support or encouragement, or just have a conversation to bounce some ideas off of, I'm here to be of support and encouragement to anyone and everyone. I see some folks out there on the live stream. People are coming through. All you have to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. I'm here. I've got a Zoom call. I'll pull your video and audio into my live stream, and you and I could have a conversation about anything. About anything. Just waiting for the first person to join me, and I'm in no rush. And if I sit here for 90 minutes and no one joins me, I'm okay with that as well. Oh, we got a response from Spencer. There's a little bit of delay, obviously, between the things. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. It's an honor to help people to master their energy and shine bright. I love your posts and all that you do. Keep shining bright. Thank you, Spencer. I really appreciate you, my friend. Yeah. Okay. I remember back in 2007, or maybe it was late 2006, I used to use, was it Ustream.tv, or was it something before then? I was still working in insurance. And it was right when broadband internet was relatively new. And I had a webcam, and I set it up in my office where you could see me working and doing my insurance job. There was no audio, just video. You could just, it's like an over the shoulder view of Cliff there working in the audience, or in the insurance office. Easy for me to say. And there was a little chat room, and I called it the water cooler. That's not what I'm doing today. I am setting up camp along this path called social media, seeing if there's any travelers walking the path today, scrolling with their thumbs or their mouse, and seeing if anybody pops in. If anybody wants to pop in and join me, sit down and have a conversation, cliffravenscraft.com/join. I'm here for no other purpose other than to be of support and encouragement to whoever crosses my path today in a real, meaningful conversation. So if anyone wants to join me, cliffravenscraft.com/join. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and look pretty as I drink my water. I'm going to go check out LinkedIn. Sometimes some people will comment over there, and unfortunately, I don't have the ability to see those comments come through on Ecamm Live. I can't tell if I'm actually live on LinkedIn or not. How do I find activity? Let's look at all posts. Let's see what's going on there. There I am. That's me. Click on that. One of the things that I have thought to do is to, I mean, obviously I've done several of these live streams. I've given examples of the type of conversations that came out of them in the Cliff Ravenscraft show. Starting with episode 772. You can go find them at, by the way, at thecliffravenscraftshow.com. There were 4 different conversations in one episode, in episode 772. Then episode 773, you're never stuck, how to evaluate, realign, and begin again. That was a good conversation. Episode 774, real business growth, one conversation at a time. And The Soul Wants to Speak, podcasting as a path to authentic connection, which, by the way, I got some emails that are updates from that conversation. She has launched her podcast, and I'm looking forward to checking that out. Episode 775, Deconstructing Your Personality. Episode 776 went live today, From Stadium Dreams to Soulful Simplicity. Why I chose depth over scale. So these are all conversations that took place in prior live streams, Ask Me Anythings. So I've just begun to publish those. And currently there have been so many that I'm releasing them on a daily basis now. I've decided I would do one per episode rather than what I did in 772, which is to give 4 examples. And I have a episode that just went out today, and there's already one scheduled for tomorrow and on Wednesday. So anybody who is listening or subscribed to my podcast will start to get a feel for what these live streams are, because I do a little intro to share what I've been up to here. I've got my mailing list, and I've been toying with the idea of, rather than showing up like this, where I've been going for, let's just say, 17 minutes now, and just randomly waiting for the first person to come along, asking people, hey, would you like to volunteer to be the first person? If you'd like to have one of these conversations with me, just look at the scheduled times that I have, and we can put you in the first position. Because I typically find that a couple of things happen. One conversation go on and fill a live stream. Another one is that there's typically, when people see what's going on in the live stream, some people get hooked into the middle of a conversation and they're like, this is powerful. And then it usually prompts questions of their own, and they'll sometimes join. And it kind of what we call primes the pump. But yeah, I haven't. I've just started toying with that idea. If I see there's more people who have joined here. By the way, I'm not here to teach anything. I don't have any slides or any presentation for you. I'm only here for one purpose. If you are scrolling through and you've clicked on this and you're now watching this live stream, I'm only here for one thing, and that is to see if we have some sort of divine appointment where I could be of support and encouragement to you in any way. If you have any kind of decision that you're facing, any kind of experience or circumstance in your life, you would enjoy having some feedback, some conversation, some dialogue with someone who would be fully present with you, feel free to go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. Right there. I have a Zoom call set up. You and I could be chatting face to face. Would love that. No pressure though. If I sit here and nobody joins, I'm perfectly fine with that. I kind of am toying with the idea. It would be nice to have a pre-recorded message of me that I could just pop right here, like a little video that just plays on repeat over and over again. And I just sit here and I can work on my email or whatever. Matter of fact, I am going to go over here and work on my email. Let's see. Should I do anything with this? Comments. There we go. Be the first to comment. Okay, I'm going to just drop that over here to the left. Okay, that's good. Okay, now let's go check my email here. YouTube says I'm live. That's good. Okay, so Lauren says, "Hey Cliff, this is Lauren. We've met together on your live stream on Thursday, July 17th. I told you that I'd have my first episode done by Monday. So it's done. Honestly, it was so much fun to record just to have a real conversation with whoever might listen in. This is where I stumbled a bit, getting the links. But I think I did it right. And here's the link to the Apple one. I could see that it worked. So I'm going to click on Apple. Looks great. She's got a 32-minute first episode that is live. So one of the things that I had mentioned is that in that particular podcast episode, that was episode 774. Okay, the path forward. Okay. I'm going to put on here Lauren's podcast has successfully launched. So I'm just updating the show notes here. And I think, let's see, has successfully launched. So I want to just highlight that, and I'm going to make that header 2. And then I will take, okay, I'm going to kind of copy her email here. Hi, Cliff. This is Lauren. We met together on your live stream Thursday. I told you that I would have my first episode done. So so it's done. Honestly, it was so much fun to record. Okay, link. So one of the things that I want to do is put a bullet point, and I'm going to put a link to Can I copy? Okay, copy link. That's the way I want it. By the way, if anybody wants, oh, there's nobody out there. So nobody's watching right now. So there's nothing for me to say to anybody. I mean, you're watching the replay maybe, but anyway. Listen via Apple Podcasts. Okay, so there's that. Let's click on that, and I think there might be show where the soul sings. Okay, so let's hit play. All right, so there we go. Let's see. Buzzsprout. Here's her RSS feed. Let's see, is she on podcast on Spotify? Ah, she is on Spotify. So let's do that. Can I do copy link address, and what does that pull in? Let's take a look. If anybody's watching, I'm available for any questions, any conversation you want to have via a Zoom call here live. I'm doing these Ask Me Anythings. I'm just working on some stuff until the first person joins me for a conversation today. If that happens to be you, all you have to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join, and be delighted to be of any support or encouragement to you today. All right. So with that, I'm going to hit paste. Spotify. Listen. Let's do. Gabriel says, let's see here. Thank you for helping my wife last week and encouraging her. You are so welcome. It was my pleasure. I'm not sure which person I spoke to last week was your wife, but I'm always delighted to be of support and encouragement to anyone who crosses my path. Okay, listen via Spotify. Gabriel, if you know anybody else that could use any support or encouragement, or anybody who wants to have a conversation about anything, I am here. Oh, so Lauren is your wife. Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm working on updating my show notes for episode 774 to put links to her podcast there. And if you have any questions about the process of anything, feel free to jump on cliffravenscraft.com/join. Be delighted to help you. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I want the RSS copy. Let me just do it this way. Copy. That's the RSS. There we go. All right. 28 minutes and no one has joined me yet on this live stream Ask Me Anything. No worries. I have no doubt in my mind that there's a reason I'm here today. And that reason could be to have a conversation with you. And the deck has been cleared for your invitation to join me now. If you would like to ask me anything, I am here to be of any support and encouragement to you, no matter the topic. cliffravenscraft.com/join. Join me via Zoom, and we can be chatting in just a few moments. So feel free to join me. All right, going back to her email. Okay, I don't know if you're still there, Gabriel, but that's why I didn't make the immediate connection, because I had a different name, a different last name, and she might, I guess, do that for professionally. Anyway, so that's why I didn't see the immediate connection there. But now that I'm looking at her signature on her email, I'm like, okay, there it is. I am so grateful to have taken this first step in unsilencing myself and letting the words flow, and also for listening and letting my soul sing, hence the name of the podcast, Where the Soul Sings. Thank you for your time, and I'm excited for the next step. With gratitude, Lauren. So now that is officially a part of the show notes. So now if we go to there, I click that, and it's got Apple, it's got Spotify, and it's got podcast RSS. All right. Let's see. Yes, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm in a Zoom meeting myself. Hey, no apologies. No, don't worry. There's no reason anyone should feel any obligation to join me here. It's certainly not an issue, and I'm glad that you're out there still. Thank you for hanging out. I enjoy it. And yeah, so her podcast is now linked up successfully in via Apple Podcast, Spotify. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually copy that URL and put it into my podcast app so that I can subscribe to it and listen to it later. So let's do discover, hit paste. Nope, that's the, okay, so right click, copy link address. There we go. Paste. Search. Subscribed. And there it is. I love how a single conversation via a live stream could take something that has been desired to be put into the world, but there's so much hesitancy, there's so many concerns, there's all of this mindset stuff or whatever, and yet here it is, it's live. And I mean, awesome. I'm super excited. I can't wait to listen to this. I'm delighted. All right. So it's so amazing. By the way, if anybody's wondering why am I not doing anything, here's the situation. I could impromptu speak on any number of subjects and I could tell stories and I can entertain. I'm intentionally choosing not to entertain you. I'm intentionally choosing not to talk about things in a monologued fashion. And the reason why I do not want to do that is because I want to protect the sacred intent and nature of the space that I'm creating with these Ask Me Anything sessions. I only want to be here during these sessions to have direct one-on-one meaningful conversations with whoever might cross my path. And so if there's any way that I could ask you the question, how may I serve you today? And you could ask me anything on any topic. All you need to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join and come and visit this Zoom session. I got a live Zoom session sitting right here, you and I, video, eye-to-eye contact, if you will. And you could ask me anything. So that's what I'm here for. And if I were to entertain people, it would be like, well, I don't want to interrupt this great monologue or whatever. Or this, maybe I shouldn't assume that it would be great from your perception, but I certainly know that I could capture your attention and keep you engaged with a story or two or three or four or five. That's not what I'm here to do. So if you are just tuning into this live stream and you're thinking, wow, I would love to ask Cliff this. Or if you're feeling the nudge, maybe you have no idea who I am, but you find yourself watching. And you're like, what's this all about? Perhaps it's not by mistake. And maybe we're meant to have a conversation. Just saying. cliffravenscraft.com/join. And you could be joining me right here. Ask me anything. I love that I've been sitting here for 34 minutes. This will be one of my favorite live streams because this will be the first time since I've been hosting these live streams that I've gone this long with crickets, if you will. By the way, not to discount Spencer, who joined earlier with a comment, and Gabe, who, is obviously still out there on Facebook, tuned in. Not to discount that. I mean, I'm more than happy to read your comments if you post a comment. But for the intent of actually saying, hey, I'm making myself available for these conversations. And I love sitting here. There's a term that in the past I would use to describe what is happening here, and that would be the word awkward. And I can sense that there's a part of my nervous system, there's like down in my gut area somewhere, that sensation of awkwardness is tempted to be triggered. But there's no reason to label and assign the meaning of awkwardness to the fact that I've come to this path, this one particular path through the reality that you and I share, and that I've set up a little table, kind of like, is it Lucy from Peanuts? Of course, oh, I don't know if everybody under a certain, if anybody or many people under a certain age understand um, whatever that sign is. Ask me the coaching or whatever advice for 5 cents. But the little stand that I think it was Lucy had. Anyway, but I'm just here on this path of life. I've just set up a little table. Little sign that says, "How may I serve you today? Join me if you want to." Just imagine you and I are the metaphor of what I'm doing here is the ocean. There's a path that overlooks the ocean, and people are walking by this path. It's called social media timelines, feeds, if you will. And as you're scrolling through and seeing all of the different things that life has to capture your attention, I happen to be along that path with this little sign that says, "Hey, there's a chair over here." It's called a Zoom meeting. It's live, it's active, and there's a seat for you. And all you need to do is just come on over here, just walk off the path. I'm just to the side here. I know it's a super hot, sunny day, but there's an umbrella and there's shade here. It's a cool, protected, safe place. And if you want to, you could join me in this chair and ask me anything. I'd love to be of any support or encouragement to you. We could brainstorm a dream. We could map out a path to a desired outcome. We could discuss anything. Or we could just sit here in silence together. Hmm. What I was saying, though, is why I would think this is one of my favorite live streams is that I might send people to this and say, "Hey, you were afraid to go start that thing because it's unknown and you're not certain it will work out, and you're assured." And the next time one of my clients say, "Cliff, I've been following you for years and I see all these things that you've done and stuff like that." And you get to a place after a while and just everything you do works. Yeah? Is that how it works? Let me give you a link. I want you to commit to me that you will watch at least the first 39 minutes of this live stream that I did on Monday, July 21st, 2025. You can't, and by the way, no double speed. You have to watch it at single one frame by one. Just watch it in real time and not skip forward. At least the first 39, make it 40 minutes. Actually, it's 40 minutes now. So watch the entire 40 minutes. And tell me if everything always works out exactly how you have in your mind. Yeah. So I got Lauren's email, and then I got another email update from Mark, who I've had previous conversations with. So I will respond to them at another time. By the way, I see some new folks have joined through and are watching the live stream. If you're wondering what's happening over here, I've set up shop, if you will, to be of service and encouragement to anyone who crosses my path today. I'm not here to present anything. I'm only here to ask one question to anyone who would join me via Zoom call, and that is, how can I serve you today? If you'd like to join me, I have a Zoom session over here at cliffravenscraft.com/join, and I would love to interact with you if you have any interest at all. If you've been drawn to this, maybe there's a reason, and I'm looking to engage with people here during this live stream doing Ask Me Anything. And it can be about any topic. So there you go. That's for the new people who kind of just stumbled across the live stream here. You know what I could do is I could read. I could sit here and read. Got my Kindle color soft. I'm not going to read out loud. Maybe I could read out loud. I wonder. Of course, again, I don't want to do anything to entertain anyone because I want people to know that I'm here not to broadcast anything during this live stream. I'm here to make myself available for anyone who would like to ask me anything. You know, I have many clients who pay tens of thousands of dollars to work with me. I've got a handful of clients that over the years have paid between $80,000 to $100,000. And most of those people are one-on-one coaching clients over the years who've met with me for one 90-minute session per month. And what you have as an opportunity here is absolutely the same level of direct, full presence, full attention, unique perspective from a different way of seeing things than you're currently looking at them, and an open dialogue about anything you want to talk about for free. It's not a part of a sales funnel, nothing at all. It is public, and I get that. So there is that. I mean, those people get the confidentiality and the private nature of those one-on-one conversations. And I do recognize that, talking with somebody on a live stream, I mean, you can filter what you want to say and what you bring up and the level of it. Although I will tell you that I've been surprised at the number of people who have really opened up authentically during some of these conversations. It's been pretty powerful. So anyway, I'm here. There's a Zoom session. You can join me, and we would be talking here on this live stream. All you need to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. I'm just going to sit here and silently read this book until somebody joins me on Zoom. I'm kind of shocked that nobody has joined me yet, but hey, it is what it is. I see somebody else has wandered along the live stream. I'm just hanging out here reading silently, waiting for anyone who wants to join me for an Ask Me Anything session. We could have a conversation about any topic. Nothing's off limits. And all you need to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. Details are there. There's a little button you can join me via a Zoom call that's set up. Turn on your video camera and talk with me here face to face. And we could be chatting about anything. You could ask me anything. Or let me start the conversation by simply asking, how may I serve you today? That's what this is if you happen to be coming across the live stream. I'm reading a book, by the way, called The Toltec Art of Life and Death, a story of discovery by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's fascinating. But again, I'm sitting here reading in silent until the first person decides to join me on Zoom over at cliffravenscraft.com/join. Oh, here comes a Igor over on LinkedIn says hi. So let me see if I can pull up Igor's image here. Or actually, let's do it this way. Do because Ecamm Live does not allow comments to go through. Here we go, Igor. So I have to kind of do it this way. But Igor, there you go. He says hi, Cliff. Hi, Igor. Glad to have you out there streaming on LinkedIn. If there's any way I could be of support and encouragement to you, if you'd like to have a conversation about anything, Igor, feel free to go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. I've got a Zoom session set up here, and I'm eager to engage with anyone who may come across my path today. No pressure. I'm just hanging out, being of service to anybody who might benefit in any way. So no matter who you are out there, I do see several more people coming into the live stream as you might be browsing through things. I'm here to be of service and encouragement to anybody who crosses my path today. If you'd like to have a conversation about anything, any topic whatsoever, I'm simply here on a Zoom session and I could bring you right up here. I could put your video right here next to me, you and I chatting back and forth with one another. I would simply start the conversation by asking the question, how can I be of service to you today? And literally, we could talk about anything. That's available if you want to join me via Zoom, cliffravenscraft.com/join. Got the Zoom meeting open. As far as I know, Zoom is working, but I haven't had anybody say that they're not able to join. So you could be the first person to join me during this live stream today. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and continue reading my book in silence. I see somebody new has joined the live stream. If you are interested in having a conversation with me here on a Zoom session I have set up, and you would be up here on screen with me, I'm here to be of support and encouragement to anybody who might cross my path today. All you have to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join and click the little button. It'll bring you into my Zoom meeting, and you and I could have a conversation about anything you desire. That's what I'm here for today. This is not me doing any type of presentation, no sales funnel. I have nothing to market or promote. I'm just here to be of service to anybody. And if you just want to pop in and if you want to leave a comment, either on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, I think I'm able to continue to get the LinkedIn comments from the browser I've got open. If you just want to say hi as well, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm sitting here just reading silently to myself as I wait for the first person to join me via Zoom today to ask me anything. Oh, Mark Cundiff is over here on LinkedIn. Let me see if I can pull that up, Mark, and give you some acknowledgement for leaving a comment here. Hello, Cliff. Mark Cundiff, helping growth-minded leaders become ... Mark, it's great to see you. I've seen several of your comments lately. If I'm not mistaken, I think you even sent me a recent email or a direct message or something like that. So thank you. I'm glad that you're out there. I think you said you might have listened to a recent conversation. Anyway, I do recall that message about a week ago or so. And I'm thrilled you're out there on LinkedIn. If anybody wants to join me, by the way, I'm here to make myself available for conversations. I love deep, meaningful conversations where I can be of any support and encouragement to you on any topic. If you are interested in joining me, I have a live Zoom call set up where you could come on via audio and video, and I'll put you right here. And to do that, all you need to do is go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. Until somebody joins me on Zoom, I'm just sitting here reading silently to myself because I just want to encourage whoever is supposed to meet with me today by divine appointment. I'm just waiting for that divine appointment to show up, assuming that there will be one. But I am not assuming there will be one. It could be that I sit here for the entire 90 minutes that I had scheduled. I've been here for 57 minutes and nobody has showed up, which is beautiful. It is what it is. And maybe somebody comes and watches this first 57 minutes of this live stream and they're thinking, man, what I wouldn't give to join Cliff for one of those and to actually ask him a question. And it prompts them to join another session at some point down the road. So who knows? It just is what it is. I'm here. If anybody wants to join me, cliffravenscraft.com/join. Oh, Mark has commented over here. Hold on one second. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so Mark says, I comment on reading the Four Agreements after hearing you recommend it recently. Yes, that now I definitely remember that being the topic. And Mark, I'm thrilled that you have been introduced to the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it has been a significant practice for me to incorporate those four agreements, which is don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, be impeccable with your word, and always do your best. And by the way, there is another book. I don't know that I would encourage you to jump straight back into another book just yet, because there's still so much gold in committing to the simplicity of that book, just like making a daily practice, a weekly practice, a monthly practice of really incorporating being impeccable with your word, not taking anything personally, not making any assumptions, and always doing your best. There's so much to be gleaned from that, and it's somewhat of a danger just to have a book where the audiobook itself is only 2.5 hours at 1x speed. So many people I know who have read that book, read it, enjoyed it, agreed with it, and moved on. And you know what? Those people still take things personally. They still make assumptions. They still feel a lot of guilt and shame. They got the woulda, coulda, shouldas that keep them stuck where they are. And they're not impeccable with the word. They beat themselves up and others quite often. So there's so much. But the other book, the next book he wrote after that, I believe, I don't know if there were any books in between, but he wrote a book called The Fifth Agreement, which is be skeptical, but learn to listen. Be skeptical, but learn to listen. And I'm currently reading a book right now called The Toltec Art of Life and Death by Don Miguel Ruiz. And it's all about what happened during, was it the 2 months that he was in a coma after a heart attack? It's uh, it's almost of a fantasy story, if you will. It's fascinating. I'm loving it. It's what I'm reading right now. Anyway, Mark, thrilled that you have been introduced to the Four Agreements. All right, real quickly, if anybody's watching live, all you need to do, if you want to join me to ask me anything, cliffravenscraft.com/join. And I'm here to be of any support or encouragement. We can talk about anything you want. But now I'm going to go back to my reading until somebody joins me on Zoom. randomly go and check to see if there's any comments that have rolled in either on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, or to see if anybody has joined me here on Zoom. I'm not sure if the number of people who are streaming live right now are the same that have been here the whole time, but if anybody new has joined, you're wondering what's going on here. I'm just waiting on Zoom for the first person today who wants to ask me anything or give me the opportunity to ask you the question, how may I serve you today? I host these live streams where I have deep, meaningful conversations with anyone who crosses my path, and the topic can be about anything. So anything that's on your mind, we could have a conversation. If you want to join me, cliffravenscraft.com/join. Feel free to click that link. You'll join me on a Zoom call, and you and I will be chatting here live. And if nobody joins me, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to continue reading my book here. So that's what's going on. By the way, if anybody is on the live stream, if you just crossed into here and wondering what's going on, I'm hosting a live stream Ask Me Anything session. I'm standing by with a live Zoom call open for anyone who wants to join me via Zoom and ask me anything. We could have any kind of conversation. I could just ask you, how can I serve you today? We could have a conversation about any topic. I'm going to be here for a few more moments as I wait for anyone who might want to join. Just simply go to cliffravenscraft.com/join. Right there, that URL, it'll bring you right into Zoom. And I'm just sitting here reading until somebody joins me on Zoom. So if you want to engage with me, ask me anything, have a conversation, all you need to do, go to cliffravenscraft.com right there. cliffravenscraft.com/join. Something just happened. Fathom left. Got it. Okay. If anybody wants to join me, cliffravenscraft.com/join. This will be getting close to last call here. If anybody wants to join me, now is the opportunity. cliffravenscraft.com/join, and there's a Zoom call here. So I've got about 3 minutes left in this chapter, and if nobody joins me by then, I'll quickly wrap this live stream up. Alrighty. Well, I am on chapter 22 of the Toltec Art of Life and Death. I got another chapter in there while I was sitting here waiting for anybody to join me. And interestingly enough, I just completed a 90-minute live stream here where nobody joined the Zoom call. Interesting. I'm already thinking about the life lessons that one could gain from such an experience. What does it mean to go live with the intention of serving people, having dialogue, and being of value, emailing an audience of thousands of people, showing live on people's timelines, making yourself freely available, and nobody joins you? What does that mean? And the answer to that question is nothing. It means nothing. It just is what it is. Now, our mind can apply meanings to that. And chances are, if you are watching this here at the end, or if you've been watching the replay to see how this would play out, maybe all sorts of meanings have shown up for you that you could apply to what took place here today. But they're all made up. They're all an illusion. And it's pretty fascinating. I can tell you, as I've sat here during the 90 minutes, there's all sorts of thoughts and stories that have gone through the blue skies of my imaginary mind, and these clouds have rolled in as thoughts, and I'm like, yeah, I observed that thought. That's interesting. That's an interesting theory. And at the same time, I'm glad that I was just able to get another chapter in. And more than anything, I there was this a valuable use of my time. The answer is yes. I don't know how it will make a difference, but there is no doubt in my mind that what has taken place over the last 1 hour and 35 minutes has opened the door for something that may not be visibly seen, but I can certainly feel. So I'm excited to have had this opportunity. Thank you all very much. I will be live again 4 more times this week for a minimum of 90 minutes, longer if there are cues. The schedule for when I will be live is at cliffravenscraft.com/join for the rest of this week. So if you are just now watching the live stream here, or by the way, if anybody does join me, if you go to cliffravenscraft.com/join right now and click the button to join me on Zoom, it's not too late. Until I hit the close the meeting button and shut down the live stream, it's not too late. We could start a conversation now. But if you at any point would like to have a conversation with me during one of these live streams, just either join me during one of these, email me, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com. Maybe you're like, Cliff, I couldn't join you. I had work. It was Monday. I'm in another part of the country and it's too late or whatever. Email me, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com. We'll see what we can schedule and make happen for you. My greatest desire is to show up and just give the opportunity for people to come across my path and have the opportunity to have a deep and meaningful conversation. And if you need me to start that conversation, I'll simply ask you the question, how may I serve you today? All right. With that, nobody's joined. Many blessings. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed rest of your week. Bye.